Yo. Y'all come on in, man. Come on in right quick, man. Let's have some fun, man. Talk some football, man. Look, contracts are going to be a thing that are coming up on a new league year. We got some news
Mm.
today about Mr. Kirk Cousins, what we knew was coming. We just didn't know the day. But we got a direct answer from the GM of the Atlanta Falcons, Ian Cunningham. And he said Kirk Cousins will be released the first day of the new league year on March the 11th. And he will get that $10 million roster bonus. That's part of the cap hit. So he will get
Yeah.
that. And after that, they're going to move on. But Chris, you know
Time to
what
move
time it
on.
is, man. And if you know, man, we got a special guest. You know I'm at the bottom of the screen. You don't need no introduction. But Chris, tell the people what's
Good.
up, and then Ryan, we'll move on to you, man.
Man, what's good? Everybody was good in the chat. Everybody come on in. Let's go ahead and have we're catching up, man. We're playing catch up a little bit. I know we told y'all we was gonna be live last night. Some things happened, cause things happen. But at the end of the day, we back. And we're here to talk about it. And of course, like we said, we got a guest in here, to talk about it with us. You may know him from the Bird Cage, what I'm saying? You may have heard of it. Go ahead and holler at him, Ryan. Let him know what's up.
Man, you know how we get down. You either get right or you get left, as we say in the cage, man. So right now you getting right because you in here with these two. I'm just a humble man, just trying to get by. Appreciate y'all having me on, fellas.
No doubt, man. And like I said, man, contracts are a thing that are about to come up. And two contracts that we looking at that we hoping we can resign one, Tyler Allgeier. We kind of got a idea where he's going to land, and then Bijan Robinson. I'm hoping the Falcons get a deal done sooner than later, because the more they wait, the more that number gonna rise like a cake in the oven. So let's get into the first one, man. Javonte Williams just got a contract extension with the Dallas Cowboys. No surprise. Had a very solid year, over 1,000 yards, double-digit touchdowns. 3 years, $24 million with the Dallas Cowboys. $16 million guaranteed. And if you look at that contract, is 3 years at $24 million. That's $8 million a year. And we said Tyler was going to be about $5.5 to $6 million. But this give us an idea of where we're going at the running back position of his caliber. We'll start off with the guest, man. What you think Tyler Allgeier is going to be in the market now that we see the Javonte Williams deal?
I was gonna say let's start at Fort Knox. To be honest, it's gonna pretty much take that much to keep pretty much pay him or whatnot, because like you said, Javonte Williams is getting 24 million. I see him in the range of probably 30. To be honest, I think he's gonna have 30 because you still got to look at Jahmyr Gibbs getting paid and a few other backs. So for me, I think he's gonna get that type of money in his first contract once we get to that point. What about y'all?
Chris, go ahead.
Well, hold on. Well, first of all, we're talking about Tyler Allgeier, correct?
Oh, I'm sorry,
Right.
not Tyler
Right.
Allgeier. I was thinking Bijan. My bad.
Oh, well, go ahead. Well,
No, my
Tyler.
fault.
Go to
My fault.
Tyler.
It's
Yeah, go
Tyler.
ahead.
Okay. I was thinking Bijan.
We're
I'm
talking
sorry.
about Tyler.
So forgive me for that because I was thinking Bijan. My bad. No, Tyler Allgeier, I think he is gonna get within, I say within the range of probably from about 17 million to maybe 22 mil. That's just me. I don't think that he's gonna get that premier money like a Bijan Robinson or anybody else until he proves that with his next squad. But I think he's gonna be in between 17 and 21. What do y'all think?
A year or a
So
total
that'll be the
contract?
starting
Total contract.
Okay, total contract. So that's
Not a year, total contract, 17
okay.
to
So
21 mil.
you thinking about 5 to 7 million? I can roll with that.
Yeah.
That's fair. Go ahead, Chris.
Yeah, I was thinking somewhere in that area myself. I mean, I'm looking at Javonte Williams. I mean, you think about it. He had like over 1,200 yards rushing, 11 touchdowns. And of course, with the Cowboys, they had the ninth best rushing offense in the NFL, 125.6 yards. So the contract is like warranted. He did go down there and change some things in their backfield. So I'm not surprised about them, offering him a decent contract. I believe 16 million of that is guaranteed too, I believe. So that's another talking point as well. Tyler Allgeier, yeah, I can see you really could still keep Tyler Allgeier because you look at the running back market. I'm like, okay, 24 mil, 3 years. You look at it, I'm like, you really could offer Tyler maybe somewhere in the 5 or 6 range. You know what I'm saying? Maybe a 3-year deal on top of that. Throw some incentives in there. You know, give him some guarantees in there. You know what I'm saying? And I really feel like you could still work that out. I understand we put the franchise tag on Kyle Pitts, and I understand Kirk Cousins is going to be released. We knew that. It's probably going to be post-June 1st too, and so we can spread out that money. But overall, though, I still believe Tyler Allgeier is affordable. Like, if you want to go that route and, again, keep that run game strong, you already know. Again, I heard someone say about Kyle Pitts that instead of trying to go look at all these other tight ends and everything, make it easy for what you got in front of your face. And I completely agree about that. And I say the same thing for the running back position. You already know you have a bruiser. You already know you have a guy who's capable of running 1,000 yards if you need him to. Hopefully you won't, but still, if it needs to happen, he's that kind of guy that can make it happen.
Agreed. I'm at about the $20 million range of myself. That's a little bit, under $7 million a year, and that's something that I can roll with. But the deciding factor would be, what does Tyler Allgeier want to do? Does he want to remain a backup, or does he want to go to another team, show his worth, become a number one guy? Because as I told y'all, late last year, when we knew the season wasn't going to go any further, I could see him moving on and, becoming a number one back in the league. And I know, like I said, 3-4 teams right now, he could be a number one on. And one name that I've been hearing all offseason so far is a division rival, him going to Tampa. And I can actually see that, because Rashad White hadn't stepped up. Bucky Irvin, he's not an every down back. He's pretty much an Alvin Kamara. Then you look at Sean Tucker, he's just a running back 3. So when you look at the dynamic of everything, it just all depends on what Tyler want to do. Tyler knows he can sign a deal big enough for a raise, but also come back here and play behind Bijan. But think about it. He only got like 500 yards last year, 8 touchdowns, which led the team. But at the same time, we talk about a guy that got 1,000 yards before Bijan even got here. So he's looking at his talent as from a standpoint as, I know I can go out and be a better running back. I know I can go out and get the type of money that I want. And we talked about 5 to 7 million. That's just a starting point to me, because one team can just step in and say, hey, we see a number one running back and he's the missing piece. He's a red zone weapon. He'll take our quarterback play to the next level as well. Let's step up to the plate and probably give him anywhere from 9 to 10 and see what we get out of it. Because let's be real.
Smitty, it wasn't just 1,000 yards. Let's go ahead and put this out here. He broke William Andrews' record, one of the greatest running backs in Falcons history, and he did that by sharing carries with Cordell Patterson, with Duke Huntley, and also Damian Williams. He had 4 different running backs that he was sharing carries with and broke that record. So if people are sitting back thinking that's chopped liver, I'm gonna give y'all this. You got a running back that people do not like to tackle. He pretty much got speed. He's pretty much a north-south runner. He's not a guy that's gonna put flash on it. And I said this yesterday, and I'm not comparing these two running backs that we have currently to these legends I'm getting ready to put out. I'm just saying the scenario. Everybody loved O.J. Simpson because he was just flashing the pants during the 70s. Period. But then you had a Walter Payton type of back that was an every down guy, that was hard-nosed, lunch pail, and that's going to go to work. And a lot of folks wasn't clamoring over him like they were OJ at the time, even though he was still producing. So what I'm saying is, we got a situation that's similar. You have Bijan, who's an elite back who's been able to show that, and you have Tyler, the workman, the guy that's going to get it done, the guy that has never fumbled in his career since he's been in the NFL. And he's putting on that hard hat and going to work. Anybody that gets him, that right there is going to be a steal, just like we did when we got Michael Turner.
Yep.
And that's exactly what we leave. And to be honest, Tyler does deserve all these things. Let's keep it real. Agreed. Tyler does deserve it. But it's just at the end of the day, I just look at how well Bijan and Tyler do mesh together. It's just not
Facts.
on the field; it's off the field as well. And honestly, like I want those two to be great together, and particularly go off of one another. You know, because you don't want to run either or into the ground. I believe that Tyler, so he's going to get his money regardless. But I also just see like, what he is. And that guys don't like, they always make business decisions. Like I said, I mean, what am I going to do? Am I going to try to attempt to tackle him or am I going to get ran over? Mm-hmm. Regardless, at the end of the day, man, you have two guys that can help not only the offense, but the quarterback, the offensive line. You just, get that going. Get that back right and tight. I mean, because they wasn't terrible last year, but you still got to get them even more tightened up. We have an offensive line coach that can do that. So, man, I ain't gonna lie to you, man. I believe our identity has been the run game more so than anything else. So why not just stay with what you already know? You know what Bijan is. You know what Tyler is. And it can help Michael Penix Jr. as far as when he's on the field, you don't have to, automatically put pressure on him. He can just turn around and hand the ball off to two guys that's going to go get it.
But don't send him to a division rival. If you're going to send him anywhere, send his ass out of the conference. Send him to Denver. I don't like Sean Payton at all, and I don't think he deserves nice things. But here's my thing. Would you rather see him in Denver being in the AFC where you might possibly see him once every 3 years? Or do you want to see him twice a year and him possibly having a vendetta? And y'all can say what you want, but he would have a vendetta against Atlanta for not giving him a real shot with all the stuff that's done went on here. I would rather see him go to Denver if you want to be honest with me, if he's going to leave.
And I think Denver make the most sense
go to
too
Denver,
because
but also
go ahead.
Go ahead. I was just about to say I ain't want to see him go to Denver. I was like, you can send him to Houston or Jacksonville with Liam Cohen or somewhere like that, man. I know what didn't.
I'm good with that. Long as he is not in Tampa, I don't care. At this point, I don't want to see that twice a year.
Yeah, no. And I think Denver would be a good fit because I'm looking at a Alvin Kamara, Pierre Thomas type duo in Denver if he gets to Denver because they already have a speed back. Now they got a power guy. You don't want to see a Mark Ingram type running back in the AFC West. I mean, that would make Denver much, much stronger in the red zone. We already know what they get in defense. But again, Falcons have to think this through, man. And we talk about, handing out contracts, and we know, going to be odd men out. But with Tyler Allgeier, at the end of the day, it's just all up to him. At the end of the day, just keep it real with y'all.
Yeah.
But y'all got any other comments before we move to the main topic?
Well, I guess the last thing I got to say about that, it is up to Tyler, but I believe it starts with the Falcons. If they're even thinking about even offering him a contract, that is another thing we have to think about too.
Facts. But let's say what's up to the chat before we get it going, man. They was in here early when we were supposed to start, but we had to push it back. Sorry about that. What's happening? What's good? Jawan Johnson said 2 years, $100 million. Can't be mad at that. I almost was late for work this morning, waiting on y'all last night. So our bad, Big Q.
Sorry about that.
King ATL supporter said Tyler was amazing. Absolutely. And he said 2 years, last 2 years, we barely used him. And that's true.
That's true.
But you got to think what the type running back we got in Bijan, so you knew that was going to happen.
And also think about this. You had an offensive coordinator that blatantly came out and said, oh, yeah, man, Tyler, man, sometimes he gets forgotten in the offense. Say what?
Man, that's why his ass ain't here no more. That's why. Big Q said the GM said in their interview with McFadden and Torrey, they franchise tagging so they wouldn't lose a player at caliber to free agency. So, I mean, look, that's fine and dandy, and I get that part. But you got to make sure he's going to come through like he did last year and that rookie year. Those in between years, if you get that Tyler, you wasting money. I'm sorry, that Kyle, you wasting money. So, just be sure in what you're getting. Buck Skull game, what's good, my guy? Best of luck next year, man. Best of luck.
Make sure it's no banana in the tailpipe.
Bronco would be a great fit. Say that again.
Make sure there's no banana in the tailpipe with Kyle coming up this year because it
Facts.
was pay year this year.
Yep,
Man.
facts.
We got a habit of falling for guys that have a great year before they get paid, and what happens? They vanish.
Hey, all fall through. Dirty Bird game was good, man. RB said, "What's good from the Las Vegas Strip?"
RB
down there
was
with the strippers. Darryl, what's up, man? And Big Q said, "True." But yeah, man, let's get to the other part. Now, the other part comes from a tweet that came out the other day from Evan Sider, and y'all know who Evan is, man. Evan always up with the news, even the Falcons and the Hawks. He just does it all. But he said the Lions are expecting to make Jahmyr Gibbs the NFL's highest paid running back this offseason with a lucrative extension. Saquon currently owns the highest average annual salary for a running back at 20.6. And thus, this is how we get to the Bijan Robinson conversation. Because look, we all know it ain't gonna be all gravy from this point on, but let's keep it real with the running back position. We got the best running back in the league. So Ryan, we're gonna start out with you because you talked about it first, about how much you think he's gonna average. So we're gonna let you elude that again.
28. I think they're gonna give him 28, 30 mil. I know that sounds crazy, but
so you don't want up higher than me.
No, it's a reason for that because guess what they trying not to do? They trying
and that's per season. And that's per season.
Nah. Nah, I ain't saying per season. Look, I'm glad you put a little bit of a buffer on that. Thank you, sir. I think overall, I think he's gonna have a high. I'm gonna be real with you. For an annual salary, I'm gonna be honest. I think he probably will get like 23, 24, if we're gonna be honest.
Oh, but
a year.
Ryan, if they let Jahmyr Gibbs get his, what's up, Mike? What's good, my guy? If they gonna let him get, and I said this weeks and months ago, if Jahmyr Gibbs get paid first, then guess what? Bijan looking at 25 easy. Because if you look at Saquon, I'm gonna bring this up right quick. Let me bring this up right quick. Top running backs paid in the league right quick. Let me see. What did I put it? Total cash.
And why you pull that up?
This is what it's looking.
Let's be real on that. Saquon also helped deliver a Super Bowl too. So that right here is what got him paid.
He did.
Absolutely.
Context clues is everything, man. I ain't gonna lie. It's just and Saquon, he deserved that money. The Giants didn't want to pay it. At the end of the day, that's why people get fired. You think about that too. You don't pay the right people.
Got fired for trading him.
Man, that's what I'm saying. Like you let people walk, and you don't take care of your people, man. It can get you fired, man. It can. And then that one player could be that missing piece to go to someone, and then they win the Super Bowl, a la like the Eagles. It just get yourself in trouble. Then made it even worse. It was in division for them, so get yourself in trouble.
And remember, he was a bell cow for Philly. That's something else that gets forgotten. He almost broke Eric Dickerson's season record. He chose to sit out because he wanted to be fresh for the playoffs, and he was killing everybody in the postseason. So, I mean, Philly literally got one of the best backs in the league. And I think we have another one.
Yeah, that was a steal, man.
I think we're in agreement on that one. For sure. We definitely have another one.
And the running back that you got to mention too as an honorable mention, and I'm going to let you go ahead and put that out there. You got to put James Cook in that category because Buffalo's offense is totally different now that they got that type of caliber of back. The problem is they got a quarterback that just can't finish.
Yeah, and that's why I don't think they'll win the Super Bowl with Josh Allen. I've been saying that. But that's another story for another day. Facts. And we knew what James Cook was at Georgia. And he's just stepped up another notch, just like Todd Gurley did with LA. Same thing.
Facts.
But Chris, go ahead. What you think about what you think his price range is gonna be with Bijan
price range?
This money right here.
Now, all right. So hear me out. We talked about this like briefly once before, and I said I wanted to get ahead of the Jahmyr Gibbs thing. I wanted the Falcons to go ahead and take care of Bijan because if you end up getting the Lions do it before you do, man, that price tag just may get more crazy. So if you do it now, I still think you can get under 25, under 24. I really do. If you do it now, maybe
Right.
just to be fair, we'll say 21, 22. And I know that's still high, but
Okay.
it's still at the same time. I feel like if you get ahead of it, you can kind of control and navigate what the rest of the market is going to do. Because, yeah, you're resetting it, but think about it. Okay, now the Lions are in pressure to get somewhere around in that area. Now the Bills with James Cook, they're going to be having to get somewhere in that area for the production and everything to play. I know playoff experiences and first teams, second teams, all those things matter. So if you can get ahead of it, then yeah. But if you let one of these teams beat you to the punch, it's going to be 25. Maybe be the starting point. That may be the starting point, 25.
Facts. And if you look at this list and this total cash rankings, this is not count bonuses. This is not count none of that. This is just straight cash before bonuses and incentives and all that stuff. And just base salary, Saquon is at 16.7. And y'all got to remember too, Bijan, his rookie year, he was the highest paid running back because of his signing bonus. He was at $13 million as a rookie. Just think about that. So now you look at 3 years later going into year 4, we not even talking about the fifth year option yet. The fifth year option is going to be anywhere from, I think, 14 and 16 or somewhere in that range because it goes up every year for each position. So to jump ahead of the curve of James Cook, Jahmyr Gibbs, which they think is going to be higher than Saquon Barkley, Bijan got to be 25. He's just going to reset the market because he in his position, he's the Justin Jefferson, he's the Jamar Chase. So when you look at them 35 to 40 million as a receiver, he's got to go at least 25. And this is where the big questions come at as far as I would say 25. James Cook gonna get 20 easy. So we looking at resetting the position of running back with him and Jahmyr Gibbs and James Cook. So I'm looking at it as it's just gonna be a new day, new age. And who knows? I could be wrong. Well, I can also see him take a slight pay cut to keep our boy here. And I've been thinking about that. He might go to management and say, hey, I'll take a slight cut if you find a way to keep Tyler in Atlanta. And I would rock with that. And I would respect that. But yeah.
Here's the question.
See it, man.
Do you believe that he would do the question is, do you believe he would do that? And you have to also understand, even though he might be resetting the market as we're talking about, and you're saying reshuffle that contract, you also have to look at the fact of, okay, how long does the value of running back stay high? You get what I'm saying? I get
it. Won't be that long. It won't be that long. It'll be a one-time thing.
Stay high like that because, again, we're looking at the fact that you have a league where guys are not bell cows no more. Guys are sharing carries. So you really want to pay somebody that much money to take half the carries? That's my
good.
question.
That's a good
point.
That's a good point.
But I'm just thinking financially, like you got other needs. You take care of your stars, but are you going to be willing to pay that much if a guy's not carrying the ball that much?
I mean, yeah, I agree with that, but I'm looking at the other side of it is when your star guy needs that break and somebody can come in and don't miss a beat and have that chemistry with the offense, that's just something that's priceless.
Yep,
you can't put a price on that. But again, like I said, if he wouldn't take a pay cut to keep Tyler here, I can respect that. But if he doesn't, I can respect that too, because at the end of the day, like you said with the running back market, because remember, at once Derrick Henry was the top paid running back. And as soon as they didn't want to pay him no more, it lowered the market right again. And that was right around the time Bijan's rookie year when it was like 12, 13 million. But now it's rising again because they're stepping up, because guys like Saquon, like you said, now has a Super Bowl, so now that market is going to go up. So it's really a hard, it's just really hard to just put a price on any of these guys until we actually see what the market is going to be.
No, I can get behind that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just looking at now I know honestly it's an asterisk next to this because I know he had the arthritis in his knee. But the last guy that I can think of that got paid that was a running back that still was on his rookie deal that got paid was Todd Gurley back in 2018. Yep. And he got extended. He reset the running back market immediately. They made sure that he wasn't going to hit. They never was going to hit free agency. And of course, what did it do? Force other elite running backs to push for more money. But of course, like I said, the knee, the arthritis, and of course, having to release him. And of course, that became a dead cap nightmare, of course. But still, again, that's the last guy that I'm thinking that was on the rookie deal that got paid.
Mm-hmm.
So, remember this in 2018.
They don't value running back. It's still the same. Go ahead.
Remember this in 2018. Le'Veon Bell's holdout. Remember that? Set out the whole season. Then went and signed with the Jets and was never the same.
So if you want to talk about,
he really wasn't never the same, before he left the Steelers after that knee injury.
But let's be honest, if you're sitting there talking about that, if you do replace Tyler, just throwing this hypothetically out, if Tyler decides to walk, he wants to be the number one guy, which I don't blame him. But you got to start looking for other replacements at this point. You get what I'm saying? And like I said, y'all know. I look at it from a standpoint of this. You got a kid by the name of Mike Washington Jr. out of Arkansas, 6 feet tall, 220 pounds, 25 pounds, 4'4" guy, literally has 4'4" speed, great wiggle if you get him in a tight spot, but he can also run you over, very great at pass blocking, and he also can receive out of the backfield. So you would have two backs. Pretty much, I'm not saying that he's going to do what Tyler does, but it would be something that you could suffice it with. Or, since we only have 5 picks, the undrafted free agency route. I'm going to go ahead and throw this out here. Y'all know I'm huge on HBCUs. Curtis Allen out of Virginia Union. 2,343 yards. Pretty much won the Heisman at that level. Hilton Award or whatnot. I'm mispronouncing the award, but it's their level of a Heisman. And Virginia Union's produced 2 running backs that's had over two bands. Jada Byers was the year before, and now you got Curtis Allen, which is a guy who does everything that Tyler does with a little bit more speed. So when you're looking at guys, there are multiple guys that you can replace on the cheap if you let Tyler walk. But the question is, how does our scouting department start looking at these running backs? And how are we going to value that? That's the question.
Most
but I think the difference with what's to replace with Tyler is his mentality, him being a former linebacker, him just loving contact. That's something that you can't replace. You can put anybody back there next to Bijan, but they got to have that killer instinct and have that power just like Tyler. If they don't have that power like Tyler, it's not going to be the same because you already got the speed in Bijan. Now you could get another speed back, but at the same time, Tyler thrives on third down and short and things of that nature, goal line. So, that's just tough to replace. So, like you said, with the HBCU guys,
he don't play with a chip on his shoulder.
Exactly. That's what I was just about to say. With those type guys, they're going to come in, show that they belong. So that's the difference.
And,
go ahead.
And his size. Curtis Allen is 6'2", 220. So he ain't little. And you're talking about a guy that's out of Petersburg, Virginia. If anybody knows about what come out of that Virginia area, we saw Michael Vick. We saw many players that have come through here from that VA area. And you know that they play with a chip on their shoulder. So I'm just saying, that's not a bad pickup.
I mean, yeah, for sure. I mean, again, and this is all, of course, if they don't want to, keep Tyler Allgeier, we know that there's guys that you can go get. I just think, sometimes, you may just, if you can, of course, financially, sometimes you just got to try to keep your guys together if you can, but we'll see what happens with that, man. It's going to be interesting. Bijan Robinson especially if they don't pay him this year. You think about it, if he comes out and have a year that's even better than this previous year and has another all first team and let's say we get to the playoffs and he's a factor in the playoffs and all that stuff like that too, it's like, well, that price tag just steady climbing, regardless of he's splitting carries or not. The market is the market. That's the one thing that we can never control. It's like, I understand us not wanting to pay guys like, oh my gosh, that's so much money, but it's the market. And it's like, do you want your player or not? Is he that valuable to you or not? And if he's not, then okay, go try to see if you can find something better, or at least somebody that can at least do similar things, and maybe you can compensate in other places for it. But eventually you're going to have to start paying somebody.
Facts.
But I give y'all another running back that nobody's probably talking about. And somebody put me on to this. I think it was last year, and they told me to watch out for this guy. And that's DeMond Claiborne from Wake Forest, big back, another physical guy. He ended up with, I think, a little bit over 900 yards last year and 11 touchdowns. But the year before that, he went over 1,000 and had 10 touchdowns. And these are the type sleeper guys you have to look for, guys with low mileage. And I think it was Ryan earlier that said, or one of y'all said about Michael Turner. I think that's the perfect analogy, because when you talk about, going out and get another running back, a physical guy, and you have to look at the miles on his legs. And I think with Michael Turner sitting behind a guy like Damon, that's similar to what Tyler is going through with Bijan. So he goes to another team. I think he takes that next step, because you look at Michael Turner, he came in Atlanta, ended up being the second leading rusher in franchise history. And I think, Tyler can have the same type impact wherever he goes because of low mileage. And he's going to have a chip on his shoulder. So what do y'all think the Falcons will look for in the next running back that if they lose Tyler?
First off, you got to be able to pass block. That's first and foremost. And then you got to look at durability, and you got to look at toughness, because here's the thing. A lot of y'all don't want to hear me say this, and it's okay. I'm a Bijan fan just like everybody else, but his running style is like a deer running through a minefield. Y'all got to understand, when you got a guy that's that big, that quick, that's literally moving like that, your body's not supposed to move that way. And every running back has X amount of carries. God forbid he takes a bad shot and goes down. I'm knocking on wood right now, because I got a piece of wood right here. Knock on wood. But you got to have somebody that's going to be able to step in and that's going to carry the load, because you're one injury away from having to have somebody to carry that load for him. Because the stuff that we asked Bijan to do with this offense, I think we overexert him. I think you need to take some of those carries off of his legs. That is just me. Because again, he's durable, but do you really want to chance the fact that you can have somebody else to balance everything out? Or do you want to have somebody in here who can take some of those carries off his legs, so by the time we get to the next time we go to the postseason, I'm speaking that into existence, folks, we got a team that can do that. Bijan would be fresh, opposed to being worn down and run down by the time we get there, or possibly hurt. So you have to have somebody who can block, catch out of the backfield, have great vision, and be able to carry the load if asked.
Facts. Big Q said I think he would take a pay cut, a little one, just to run it back with all new coaches.
I got a question for y'all. How y'all like that running back?
Go ahead with the question. Go ahead.
How y'all like that running back out of Clemson?
Pass.
Randall, I think his last name.
He decent, but I'll pass on.
He decent. But I just don't think he's one of those guys. He's like, to me, more of a third down back. If that makes sense. I think they need to get a guy.
I will say this.
Tyler. Go ahead.
No, I was about to say about the third down. No, I agree with that, but also, like, he's pretty good at pass blocking. He's great at breaking tackles. He's right now. They say he's scheduled to run like a 4.3. Now I know we necessarily don't need the speed, but we're looking for a guy that can come in. I mean, He also catches out the backfield a little bit too. I mean, of course, drills and everything you still got to go through. But you're not looking for him to, come in and be the guy or anything. You're looking for him to basically replace Tyler if you move on. And I think, honestly, you can get him possibly in a later round. I know he tore his ACL in the spring. I remember, I think that was like, in 2022, and it did cost him some games. But I'm just thinking, I'm just throwing a name out here just because, in case we have to replace Tyler, it's like somebody's got to be the backup and somebody's got to come in and get some carries, and maybe he could. I mean, he is 230, 6'2", 230, running a 4.3. I mean, those are good measurables. Got 9.5, 9.5, 9.5 inch hands.
Yeah, I mean, he might.
I mean, I'm with you. I'm with you when you say that. I honestly look at the fact that if we're gonna sit back and talk about it, another running back that you can possibly put into that fold would be a kid out of Nebraska by the name of Emmett Johnson. Tough running back. Absolutely. Quick feet, 5'11", 6 feet, 200 pounds. Great burst. Also can pretty much run through tacklers, and he's a hell of a pass blocker. His vision and his patience is what sets him apart. So if you still can have a change of pace back that still does a lot of the dirty work. He averaged 5.8 yards a carry. You might as well say he averaged 6 yards a carry every time he touched the ball. So when you're looking at a guy like that, you can take some of that pressure off Bijan and wear a defense down. So that's just a little gem that you could throw in there.
Yeah, and I think that's the main point. Taking pressure out Bijan, coming in wearing down the defense. So when Bijan comes back in, it gives him a chance to, make bigger runs. And I think that's what happened last year. That's the reason why he had those 80, 90-yard runs, because at some point in the game, Tyler came in, even though his yards weren't there, that physicality that he was hitting the defense line in the mouth. I think it was just like a boxing match. You hit him in the mouth enough, and eventually they're going to soften up. So by the time they got to the third quarter, that's when those big runs started happening. And that's one thing that, you can't, it's not easy to replace. But Orange Juice said, we don't even have a legitimate quarterback yet. How we look paying all this money. To me, everyone is tradable except my young defensive nucleus. And I said that already, but at the same time, you got to think about the future anyway. And running back, that should be one of the positions that they should look at first, because it's going to be, the engine of the offense. Because guess what? Either you're going to have a veteran that's coming in that knows that's been around in the NFL, or you're going to have Mike Penix. But at the same time, you got to give that coaching staff time to gel. And it's going to take 3 to 4 games before that truly happens. And the best way for them to get through those 4 games is be effective running the football. And we know Kevin Stefanski love play action. So the running backs are going to be more important than anybody in the offense outside of the center position. So, I mean, that's why I feel that you got to talk about the running back before anybody. But go ahead.
I said then the type of running back he got too, and Bijan Robinson is just, now don't get me wrong, Nick Chubb, I love Nick Chubb, go Dogs. But at the same time, Bijan Robinson, he's a different type of back than Nick Chubb. Nick Chubb still has speed now, but Bijan, he can just do different things. And the way that he runs, I mean, like you said, he's not supposed to move that way. It almost reminds you of a wide receiver that was in the Falcons jersey, who was just with that height and speed, wasn't supposed to run that way. But hey, it just happens. Sometimes you get those athletes, those guys that just are different, and they can you can tell that they're different as soon as they step on the field. Bijan is one of those guys, and he's been from day one. So again, man, you got to look at it as, if you do pay him, regardless, when you pay him, his carries are going to go up anyway, because you're going to want to use them. But you still got to have somebody behind him, just somebody that's able to take the pressure off of him and it not be him getting ran into the ground, similar to like Christian McCaffrey. Remember, they paid him all that money, the Carolina Panthers. And what happened? Injuries started piling up. They didn't really have an offense. All they had was Christian McCaffrey.
Yep, facts.
You don't want that to be you.
I give y'all right quick. I give y'all I would give y'all a running back as a veteran right now that I think can come in and do the same thing that Tyler is doing as far as running the football. And there's Damian Pierce, formula of the Houston Texans, big, powerful back. Now he has battled injuries the last couple of years, but at the same time, I feel like running the football wise, he has that same type physical nature that Tyler has, and he may be low on contract. You probably get him for about $1 million or $2 million for 1 year.
Pierce ain't nothing but 5'10", 215, right?
I know, but he runs with power.
That's
He runs with power
right there.
Yeah, he to me, he reminds me of Maurice Jones-Drew. When you talk about size and power, that's who he reminds me of.
And what's funny, he's with the Kansas City Chiefs right now. That's the funny part. The Chiefs got him.
But I don't think he'll stay there. I think he'll be gone at the new league year.
You think so?
Yeah, and one thing, the reason now they could sign him back because I also don't think Pacheco goes back.
Yeah, Pacheco's probably going to be up out of there. A lot of the injuries is what hurt him. He just running hard, man.
He had a different running style for real, and honestly, I remember talking to a friend, and he was like, "Man, I like the way he runs, but the way he runs is not sustainable." He does run. He runs like a madman for sure, and he is not shy of contact at all. Like so, but
Pacheco,
big boys in the NFL though, man.
Man, Pacheco runs. If we gonna be honest, man, Pacheco, the way he runs, like you said, how he's angry. If you look at it, you look at guys that didn't last long, for short periods of time. You talk about your Larry Brown's 1972 MVP. You talk about a Josh Cribbs who Smitty watched run for Buffalo back in the day. I mean, it's many backs that were great, but they were only great for a short period of time.
Lynn Kane was another.
Yeah, Lynn Kane was another one who played for us. So when you look at the durability, that's the only thing you worry about with running backs because they get their asses handed to them. Period.
Facts.
Like if you've never played the game before and you've never been in that position, watch how many running backs pretty much literally go to the hot tub and they're taking pain pills majority of the time.
Yeah, I've seen that. Man, look at Mr. Andrews.
Facts.
When I had him on, I had to actually wait on a little while for that interview because he was recovering from knee surgery. So when you talk about being physical and big like that, it takes a toll. Look at Earl Campbell. He's in the wheelchair now. So it takes a toll.
And he had to get surgery for his back and his knees been replaced and his shoulders because of the type of beating he put on folks.
Facts.
Right.
And that's the one thing that we got to make sure that with the Falcons, we don't overspend either. Because you lose a running back or whatnot, that's a lot of money going down the drain. Bijan is different, so pay him, but
see, you still making my case for why Tyler should be here. If something happens to Bijan, Tyler steps right in. He knows exactly, what we need, and they have that chemistry. And what if Bijan having an off day and then they need to switch up the tempo just a little bit? Tyler comes in, then guess what? He knows what to do. He steps right in and does what he needs to do.
You got the real thing in front of you. It's like, again, if you can, keep him. He makes the team better. He doesn't make, don't get, again, yes, I know we can go try to look and find. I get it. But you still got a guy right here in your face. I ain't saying give him a long-term contract like something you would give Bijan. I think like a 2-year deal, honestly, would be fair because you're still giving him some time to make some money, still play with the Falcons, and still possibly move on from the Falcons and go get a starting running back job when maybe something comes a little bit more available and everything. You're not killing his youth or anything. You're just paying him more money, paying him like a value, how much you value him, and still giving an opportunity to make more money if he chooses to later on down the line.
And
but at least
he still would have tread on the tires, pretty much. That's the beautiful part about it.
Yeah. Baby Driver says Stefanski just did an interview saying he's excited about Penix. They're going to keep saying that, man. But we just got to wait to see what week 1 going to bring. I mean, they can talk that talk, but we just don't know what's going to happen. They got to say the right thing in front of the media. Just keep it real with y'all.
Hey,
And
Smitty, you know what? How you say that? Everybody's all excited about Penix in that sense. Let it play out. But if y'all keep listening to these press conferences, this is all you can say about them.
yeah. That's it.
It's just the truth.
That's it.
Yeah.
Let's
Yes,
see.
be
It was
careful with
another
Penix,
question.
man.
Go ahead, Chris. My bad.
No, I just say you just got to be so careful with Penix, man. I'm telling you. Orange juice. Now I feel what you're saying about well, I was looking at what you're saying about Tyler. Teams may see him as a number one option, and the thing about it is, if they do, I'm not mad about that. I'm happy for him again, but I can still just state my opinions about what I think the Falcons should try to do, and I think they should try to keep that running back core strong. Those two guys that's in that picture behind us, man. I'm telling you, like they can go, and they fit very well together.
And y'all saw, and I said this last year before the season started, when they started lining both of them guys up in the backfield at the same time, the defense didn't know who to attack because they didn't know if Tyler was going to get the ball and run him in the ground, or they didn't know if Bijan was going to run past him. And that's the type of chemistry that's hard to replace. So, I mean, that's what I'm saying, man. Chemistry is everything. But at the same time, I'm not for, players not getting paid. Go make your money. Go make your dream happen. Because guess what? I'm going to just tell you, in the right offense, Tyler could be a damn Pro Bowl running back in the right offense. Just like Mike Turner. Just saying.
I know he would do great things. I know.
Man, Tyler would be the second coming to John Riggins. I stand on that. And y'all can stamp that.
Oh, boy, I remember John Riggins.
I stand on
remember him.
If you don't know who John Riggins is, that's the other big back that dominated back in them days. Like other Earl Campbell days. Late 70s, early 80s. And was literally a Super Bowl MVP and had track speed. So again, the only white boy that actually could come into the club with a mohawk and we was good with.
Yeah.
Hey, the Diesel. But truthfully though, if we look at Allgeier, that running style really is similar to John Riggins. Speed, power, downhill. If you ever looked at it, Joe Gibbs had his scat backs in that backfield. George Harmon, you talk about Joe Washington and those guys there, you got your downhill back. Do the right thing and just get this man something. Because we got talent here. Take some of this stuff off Bijan. That's how I look at it.
I'll give you another big back that a lot of people don't talk about. That, his career was short-lived, but in that time, in the mid-90s, Natron Means, Marion Butts, those boy, look, see, y'all, we finna get into another.
I ain't heard in a minute. Natron,
but see, when he was at North Carolina, couldn't fuck with him. Couldn't fuck with him.
And remember, he went to the Super Bowl with the Chargers and then went to the Jaguars and had, as you said, a whole nother career.
Facts.
Like, think about it, man. James Stewart.
Because remember they had that big win in Denver? He was on that spot. Natron was a big part of that, right?
Think about it. They got rid of James Stewart and sent him to Detroit, and James ended up getting that money. They got a steal with Natron Means in that backfield.
Facts.
People forget about how nasty Tron was.
Yep. He ended up being a Pro Bowl running back in Jacksonville.
Facts.
So that's what I'm telling y'all, man. Tyler can have that same effect. He can have that same effect. What's good, Jay Black? He said when Ian Cunningham said we're evaluating Caden, it's a lot of linebackers in free agency. Sounds like he's not big on re-signing him. No, he gone. I heard it in his voice. He's not coming back.
Yeah, we heard that when he got here.
Yeah. He wants to make his own mark. And what that means, he's going to go out and scout, draft, and do what he need to do to bring in the right players. Because you got to think about it, man. We talk about it all the time. Whatever the last regime brings in, the new regime is not responsible for that. So they're going to try to wipe out as much as they can. And we saw it in New England with Mike Vrabel last year. And you see what happened with that. Ended up in the Super Bowl. So it's not all bad when you talk about restructuring the team and putting your type players in there. It just happens.
That's what I'm saying, man. The moves you make, it just has to work.
Right.
How would y'all feel about him bringing in Quay Walker at that linebacker spot to replace him?
Hey, I dropped the video
about that. I let Chris talk about that because that's his boy.
You know what, Chris? I saw that video the other day. I just wanted to make sure I dropped the nuggets so people can go check out that video and talk and listen to the nuggets that you dropped on that. But Quay Walker is a guy that you should bring in here.
Yeah,
guy that plays from sideline to sideline, high IQ. He could be that green dot guy on your defense.
Right. And then you pair him with Divine Diablo. I mean, you let
And
Divine
Taylor
Diablo
Walker.
roam, and you can let Quay Walker go down and attack that because he's good as far as making tackles and traffic. He's good by being able to filter through that traffic and those bodies, man, and still being able to get to the ball. Like, I love Quay Walker here. Like, I understand, like, you don't necessarily want him as a coverage linebacker, but regardless, I still feel like you could scheme it to where you're not necessarily like having him as a liability because he still can pick the ball off now. You know what I'm saying? He don't pick off the ball a few times. So he still has the capability, but with Divine Diablo, those two guys together, again, fitting the youth movement that we have on defense. And I feel like that timeline, I mean, Caden, I love him, but he doesn't fit the timeline. Quay Walker, he would. And honestly, he's only to what, 25?
25. He's 25. He's still under 30.
You have a guy that's 25 years old and you pay him at least 3-4 years. We can start like locking guys up, man. Really lock, because I want to extend Divine Diablo. Because I'm just saying the drop off that we had in that middle when Divine Diablo went down, I feel like if I was his agent, I'd be like, yeah, I'm gonna have to holler at the Falcons about you, my dog, because you see what he was going on. It was Caden out there, felt like by himself. You know,
facts. But you got to have a guy that can do it all, like Caden. And one guy came to mind, and I did a video on it, Devin Lloyd. Now he may be a good penny, but if you want to invest in a linebacker, you getting the best of all worlds with him. Coverage, blitzing, and just shooting the gaps and tackling. You get the best of all three worlds with a Devin Lloyd.
Another guy that you could
19, 20 a year though, Smitty.
And Smitty, another guy that you could bring in if you do decide to go down this route, quiet as it's kept, Kyle Lewis out of Pittsburgh. 6 feet tall, 220, 4'5" guy, 4'6", 4'5" guy. The guy is a football player. And you talk about high IQ as a linebacker. That's something that you can't coach. Unfortunately, we don't have that with Troy Anderson because, again, he's in a tapioca. He's at the tapioca bar at Piedmont Hospital. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Giving out free shots of tapioca pudding. But when you look at what we have at this linebacker spot with Bertrand, you got to start looking at guys from other routes that you can get cheaper at this point. You know what I mean?
Agreed.
You really could get a lot of cheaper young guys later in the drafts. And there's another kid that I'm gonna throw in here, and you got it. Eric Hunter out of Morgan State. Monster linebacker. If I got to compare him to anybody that has played on our team back in the day, I would have to say he reminds me of a young Cornelius Bennett. Biscuit.
Boy.
Biscuit Bennett.
That says a lot there.
And put it this way, Steve Weiss specifically put the spotlight on him. Holmes is like that, sideline to sideline.
If Steve Weiss put the spotlight on you, you know you that dude.
So Eric Hunters, if you don't know who he is, please look up the footage. Monster at that linebacker spot. If you don't draft him, you can get him as an undrafted free agent, and he comes here. I can tell you right now, he'll start. He will start. He will beat out anything that's on the bench right now for a starting job. Guarantee you, if we was to bring him in.
And you gave me an idea. I got to holler at Steve, man. See, he come on. Give us some of that draft knowledge. Go ahead, Chris.
I'm saying, like, y'all hear me out. Is there any possible way? Well, I mean, I don't even know if y'all even interested in him at all, but I'm about to mention his name as far as linebackers. Any possible way CJ Allen falls to the second or third round?
I think he's gonna be a late first rounder. He's not gonna fall to the second, bro. Unless
I got him right at the top of the second.
Facts.
I got him right at the top of the second. Yeah, man. And I'm gonna be real. Raiders might be a team he can help. They rebuilding. He's one of those dog type people like a Roquan Smith. Oh yeah.
Mhm.
You look at a team like the Raiders. Yeah, he would fit perfect.
He
Go
just
ahead,
got
Chris.
to get better at his pass coverage, though. That's the
Facts.
only
Yes.
thing that
Yes.
Yeah, he's more of a downhill guy.
But
He's the
but you know what?
sideline guy with that 4.5 speed, but
But he
he can
can
chase the
improve
guy
on the pass
down.
coverage, though.
He
He
can.
can.
Yeah.
You can.
Because how many guys have we seen that come into the league that have most intangibles on one half, but they don't have the intangibles here, and they develop that skill when they get to the league? How many guys have we seen do that?
Many.
Right? Think
Many.
about it. Roddy White's hands weren't the greatest when he first got to Atlanta, folks. Them first 3
Yeah.
years was shaky as a stripper at a pimp convention. It's just what it is.
Oh, I ain't gonna lie to you. He
I'm
dropped so
just
many
saying.
balls.
I'm just saying his hands was shaky, but then he figured it out and he became one of the best receivers we ever had in this franchise.
Well,
All right, I
one
give you
thing
somebody on the team
that I
right
know,
now.
if I don't know nothing else about it, he doesn't CJ, he doesn't seem like he plays on his toes enough. He seems like he's like flat-footed a lot though too.
That's because he's going downhill most of the time. They don't
Facts.
really think about it. They don't really use him in pass coverage like that. And you got to remember, he also had Jalen Walker that covered a lot of stuff for him when it came to pass
On
coverage.
the ground. Yeah.
And he was the guy that, put the dog collar on him, sick him. That's pretty much what CJ was.
I give y'all another guy that's on the team right now that's struggling his first couple years in the league. Well, you just talked about it, Devon Diablo with the Raiders.
Yep.
He was struggling
a bad
mightily
team.
in pass coverage, but still, he worked on his craft enough. And when he got to Atlanta, you saw it, how he evolved as a coverage guy. You saw how he evolved, reading what's going on, with the slot at the edge.
Well,
get
hold
out
on,
the quarterback. He worked on all of that because he struggled. I watched.
I gotta add something to that because remember we played the Raiders in Las Vegas. I got a little look at Devon Diablo. His coverage wasn't bad in that game, so it seemed like he was
third
already
year though, Chris.
the corner.
That's what I'm saying. His first couple years,
it was
he
the
struggled.
third year though, but his first 2 years he struggled.
He struggled bad. Yeah.
But no, but you're absolutely right about how he turned the corner though.
Yeah.
Another guy that I would say I think could make it here because he's not high on a lot of people's boards, and most people don't look at him unless you really are a college fan. Chad Banks Jr. out of UTSA. That kid there, 6'1", you're talking 230 pounds, runs a 4.4. Great pass coverage. He's a freak of nature when you look at him. He actually looks bigger than 230. Comes downhill, can also cover. Very highly intelligent player. Still a little raw, but this is a guy that can play linebacker, and he can actually put Bertrand out of a job.
I thought Bertrand was already
a job.
No, but y'all get what I'm saying. He can put Bertrand out of a job if you have him on this team. Bertrand, when he made the practice squad.
Damn.
That's
bad.
Like it's a lot of hidden gems in this draft when you talk about defensive players, certain skill position players, and also offensive line. That is something nobody's talking about right now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, offensive line.
I'll tell y'all another name that I don't. Yeah, I don't know how far he'll fall, but another name to look out for is Anthony Hill Jr. He was a first round pick last year if he comes out, but he decided to stay one more year, and I respect that. But that's one name you just got to look out for. I think he's going to slide down the board just like Xavier Wise. He's going to slip through the gaps, and he could be in the second round and be there when we draft. Or if he falls to the second round, we can move up to go get him if we make a trade to go get more picks. So yeah, Anthony Hill Jr. is another one. But yeah, Chris.
Yeah, that's crazy. We don't went from running back and just start talking about draft. But you know what? It's all good because
I mean it's easy to do.
You know what? I apologize, man. I apologize, man. I didn't turn the subject talking about players. Y'all see, this is what happens when y'all get
all good.
Nah, this what happened when I get with
It's
This
all,
what we
like
do,
I
man.
said, it's all in good fun.
This is what we do.
Yes, sir.
That's why we got to come up with some draft videos, man. That's why we got to do some draft live streams.
Oh,
Coop, what's up, man?
Cool.
Let's get it. What's up? What's good?
But I mean, truthfully, let's be real. When we talk about the needs of this team, you're right. We don't know what Tyler's gonna do. You gotta have somebody that's gonna be in that running back spot. You gotta build your linebacker depth. You have to get D-line depth at this point and O-line depth. People aren't looking at it.
Yeah, one guy that's on my board, second round, Lee Hunter, Texas Tech.
Oh yeah,
run stuff for that.
Oh yes, sir.
Oh yes, sir.
Mr. Lee Hunter. Yes, sir.
300 pounds.
Yes.
Yeah.
Let's get it right.
I think what 325.
325.
6'4". Yeah.
I mean, dang, look, that's a refrigerator on legs. That's pretty much what that is. That's a refrigerator with legs.
Boy, that's a Mack truck.
and the best part about him is he got a mean streak. That's the other thing nobody's talking about.
Facts.
Yes, he does. He does. He plays nasty, like in those trenches. He does. And you think about this too. No, go ahead, bro.
No, I was saying I'm with you on that. And when you talk about it, hell, there's many defensive tackles in this draft that's coming up that really would fit a lot of what we do. It really would.
I just think about him because I saw him in that playoff game.
I think about Lee Hunter, bro.
Yeah, Lee Hunter's nasty. Don't forget.
Yes. Again, like he has that 6'9" wingspan as well too.
Oh yeah.
And you think about it as well, like how he's able to win at that point of attack, like right out there at the snap. How he's able to just be so forceful and being able to win most of the times.
Yeah, he's good at leverage.
Just stop that run. Yes, bro.
Absolutely.
His run defense is like it's elite. It's elite, man. I've been looking at his tape. Honestly, that's one guy that I've been looking at because I'm thinking that he could be there in the second round for the Falcons. Some guys you got to overlook, but I went straight to him, bro. Like that guy is a monster, and if we can get him to plug up the holes, you think about what he could do for Brandon Dorless. Think about what he could do for Jalen Walker and other pass rushers on the team. It's just Zach Harrison. It just, bro.
I got somebody for you.
Not gonna lie to you.
I know you're talking about him, but I got a sleeper for you that most people aren't even looking at. You have a guy by the name of Bobby Jamison Travis out of Auburn. Anything on the Auburn defense?
I saw him too.
Bobby,
he was killing Alabama.
He was killing Georgia too.
Yeah.
6'4", 330 pounds. He's 322 on paper, but if you see him in person, he 330, 335. Trust me.
But if he eat a Philly cheesesteak, he'll hit 330.
Come on,
man, you ain't lying, boy. He about a biscuit away from that. So I'm just saying.
That's the kid that used to play basketball, and he was talking about he wanted to be like Shaq.
But just think about it. 6'4", 330 in that defensive tackle spot. You're talking about a guy who pretty much is a solid tackler. He's good at pass rushing because he's quick for a big man. Think about this. You got a 330-pounder running a 5'2", 40. At 6'4", 330 pounds. You bring that here.
Vibes.
You bring that here to line up with at that defensive tackle spot. You put Rook in his natural position as a 3 technique. Then you have on the other side Dorless is on the other side.
Yeah.
Jalen Walker. You still got a veteran. You still got your veterans that are here right now. I'm not even gonna name everybody. Right. You just bring a kid like that to play the defensive tackle spot, and you let these guys that you have here already play in their natural spots. If you think 57 sacks was something nasty this year, our linebackers would be clean if we get a real D tackle here, especially like that.
Yeah, we need a Vince Wilfork type. I've been saying that for years.
Athletic too for a big man.
Right.
You possibly could. You possibly could get him in the third round. I'm looking at his projection now.
Exactly. That's why I threw him out there, Chris.
Another steal.
Chris, think about it, man. You talking about a dancing bear in the trenches.
Yeah, that's what. Yeah, you want that. You want Baloo. You do. You want Baloo. It says, say it, y'all. What J. Coop say? Say it, y'all. We still have JPJ.
Hey, I ain't touching that. I ain't touching that.
I ain't touching it.
We can't touch it right now. Right now, it's a legal matter, and we are unable to talk about it.
Hey man, Jay came up in here like Pac did on Damn Juice.
Look at this. The finally decided to stand up like a man and throw down.
He came up in here with that Pac energy, pretty much with JPJ.
Yeah, man. We got to have some beef in the middle, man. We got to. I mean, it's time because as I told both of y'all, we've been talking about it for a while. When they passed on Javonte Sweat, I was pissed off, and I'm still kind of pissed. So now it's time to, put everything in its rightful place.
Yep, that's the kid. That's the kid I'm talking about. He's projected as a third rounder, and he definitely could be a problem for us. A good problem for us, bad for everybody else in the division. Because let's be real, we still a little soft in the middle.
He a cream puff sweetheart. Soft.
And if y'all want some more defensive linemen, free agents, go to our last live video. Me and Chris gave y'all some on what if the Falcons added, and it was more defensive linemen than anything. So if y'all want thoughts on who we could get this offseason as a free agent, just go check it out. Miss Drea, thank you for the donation as always. She said, "What's up, fellas in chat? Hands full of my grandson, but got my ears on." Absolutely, Miss Drea.
All right, multitasking right there. See that, man?
Facts.
And she sent a super chat.
That's what I'm talking about. Jay Black said, "We keeping JPJ. He would be on the team suspended, but on this team, we give him a chance to get right." We'll see, Jay Black. We would definitely see. And she donated to both of us, so shout out to you.
Oh, thank you. I always appreciate that.
803 Tonyo said we need
to give Miss Drea the subscriber of the week.
Facts. She can come in and ask any question she wants. She asked me a question in the chat on one of my videos. So she always does that, man. She always stay in tune, and we appreciate that.
Hey, man, we do be liking that, asking questions, because we can take those questions and sometimes, just bring it to the chat,
videos.
Make a video, like all that stuff. Like all that stuff helps. I'm telling you, it does.
Facts. Lakido 94 said good scouting, because that game I was like, dang, who is this? And he talking about who Ryan was talking about. See, we watch videos, so hey, I'm telling you, we do it.
And it's scary when you look at. I'll put it this way: it's scary when you look at him. Like he looks, when you see him without his helmet on, he's a happy kid. He's smiling. But when you see him on the field, that's a whole different dude. And I mean, got a mean attitude. And he really is a nice kid. That's the funny part.
But that's the thing. You got to know when to turn this shit on and off, and he do it well.
Exactly. And I'm not even going to lie to you. It's a lot of talent out here in the trenches. And like you said, Smitty, we got to shore up the offensive line, and we also got to shore up pretty much the interior for the defense. So
that's why we got the perfect guy for the job. He's a former offensive lineman, so he knows exactly what we need and how to win. And anybody who knows football knows the game is won in the trenches. Think about it, 57 sacks last year. That is a complete sign.
And that's without a true defensive tackle.
Facts.
Yes. Got to start up the middle, man. You know what I'm saying? That's why I'm happy that we have not only a quarterback for a president, but also a GM that was a former offensive lineman. And then all the pieces that we're bringing in, it's like, man, it's refreshing for multiple reasons, y'all. And because where was all this a few years ago? And to start to have pieces that make sense around, not just having guys holding a position just because you need a guy to hold that position. but to actually have experience, different places and bringing in multiple minds to help, different skill positions even more. Retaining guys like the Nate Ollie, who was the best offseason signing that we had last year. And, so the mix with Jeff Olbrich. And then I just got to get to Ian Cunningham again, just to close out my thoughts. I love the fact that it seems like we have a GM that is very transparent. And right now, it seems like we have a regime that is doing the collective thing, but they're trying to be transparent. It doesn't feel like Secret Service. It doesn't feel like we have Secret Squirrel around, or they're trying to hide things from us. And again, it is early. I'm just saying, I understand that it is still early. We still do have to wait and see what all comes and moving forward. But I like how it's starting off. Like, it feels good, first impressions. So I like how it's starting off. I like that Ian was straightforward. Yes, I talked to Kurt's camp, and we also, they had something to say, like they talked about, Kurt was straightforward about that situation, and most likely he's not going to be back. I love that he was straightforward with that. Also talked about the Kyle Pitts thing and was straightforward. Hey, man, we don't want to lose that talent. We still have time. We still have until July 15th to work something out. Whether if it's, staying or going, regardless, they still have until July 15th to work something out. If, or he can just play the season out and we try to run this back to this time next year. But it's just refreshing, man. Like, at the end of the day, it's just refreshing. I understand that really Raheem Morris and the way that he came in with the smiles and everything like that, even though people were still skeptical of him, but after him, you kind of want to tread lightly and just wait for the results. And that's what we are ultimately waiting for. But you can't deny how things are starting off. It does feel different.
Facts. And to finish out what you're saying, and to close out, I just feel like Ian in total control. Something that I didn't feel with Terry Fontenot. Just keep it real with y'all. Just keep it real. Anything you got to say, Ron, before we get out of here?
Man, all I can say is we just gotta let everything play out. I know people talking about JPJ and everything else. Right now, we just have to let everything play out. Let's see how this offseason goes, because the draft is going to tell us exactly what direction we're going to go in, but we also have to just let it play out. Don't look for training camp to be the place that you're going to get everything, because they're going to keep everything hidden. They're just making it family friendly for everybody to come through. Your first week 1 through 5 is going to tell you exactly what this team is going to be about. Week 1 through 5.
And we saw it last year. Week 1 through 5. They were still playing like the end of 2024. My bad. Go ahead.
No. You're right. You just gotta look for the positive things that you're gonna see in week 1 through 5. Now it's gonna be a lot of negative stuff because it's a whole new system coming in here offensively.
Gonna take a while.
It's gonna take a while. Offense will be clicking by week 10 or 11. It's gonna take a while because they gotta go through understanding what it's like to be in Ward. So it's just what it is.
And think about it too. Everybody got to jail, and that's with any team with a new staff. It just happens. Lonzy, what's up, my guy? But again, man, another great pop-up show, man, as always. Thank Miss Drill for coming through with the donation. Truly appreciate it. She donates on the daily, and a lot of y'all do too, and we definitely appreciate that. But we'll let our guests, tell them where to find, tell y'all where to find him, and we'll go around the block. Ryan, tell them where to find.
Hey, you can find us on Thursday nights, Birdcage LLC on YouTube and Twitter and other streaming platforms. Myself, historian, and the magnificent Birdcage crew definitely love for folks to come through this week. We're supposed to have Buck Ballou come through. If you don't know who he is, 680 Sports on the radio, been doing that for a minute. Or if you know him being a UGA fan, he's the quarterback that led Georgia to the 1980 National Championship, and he covers Atlanta sports. So he's going to talk to us on Thursday about the Falcons and maybe a little dog talk too. So please make sure y'all step through, man. Like we say in the show, hey, man, you either get right or you get left.
Facts. Chris?
As always, man, thank y'all to the chat, man. We really appreciate each and every one of y'all. always taking the time out to listen to us, listen to our thoughts, our opinions. And, you know, we actually even throw some facts out there if you don't watch it. But no, seriously though, man, appreciate everybody to the chat. Thank you to Ryan for coming and joining us. Hey, man, you know, we love having the fellowship with, you know, Falcon content creators, period. You know, we were all representing the same team and just, you know, throwing out their ideas. And it's always good when the energy is great. And speaking of energy, make sure that you find your peace today, because positive energy always creates elevation. And that's how you find your peace. I am Chris Tipmore, A1 Forever Sports. That's the platform on YouTube. Come on and be a part of the A1 Forever family, because, you know, love to have you. Hawks Digest, same difference, man. Hawks Digest, man, please make sure that you're following us over there as me, Mikey, and Walter. We're dropping anything and everything that has to do with Atlanta Hawks. And hopefully we'll get a Jonathan Kuminga sighting tonight, making his debut, hopefully against the Washington Wizards. So
yeah, I think he'll play at some point. I think he'll get about 10, 15 minutes tonight.
Hey, man, I just want to start seeing him on the court, because we only have about 23 games left. And we got to see if we're going to pick up that option. You know,
they will.
But,
they will. He's going to be a key piece going forward. I think so.
And I'm going to tell you something. If they pick up that option, like just automatically, Zach gone. But I will talk about that.
I expect that anyway. But yeah, that's it
was already ugly. It was already ugly when we made the trade, and I was like, hold on, they play the same position, but whatever. But yeah, man. Yeah, but also Twitter A1 Forever, Instagram A1 Forever, and the real A1 Forever. And the real A1 Forever on TikTok. Man, like again, that's appreciate every last one of y'all, man. And hey, man, we're gonna do this again in a minute, because I know what we had Ian Cunningham's press conference and what he was saying, and then I know Kevin Stefanski. I haven't caught that one yet, but still, man. So it's still topics to talk about. Combine is coming up, so expect more combine talk coming from all of us.
We get some free time tonight. We might just jump on again. Who knows?
You never know. You know that's why you got to keep that notification bell handy.
Boy, y'all keeping the notification bell handy, man. These folks need to hit that like and subscribe button if they haven't already.
Hey, because I got one better. They need to hype it up. That's what they need to do.
I got you even better.
Damn, son, where'd you find that?
And you know what? And you know what? And you know what? Guess what? And with all that being said, just do option E, all of the above.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
Facts.
Exactly what I'm saying, man. But yeah, man, another great stream, man. Quick pop up. Y'all know to catch me, man, right here on Smitty Sports Machine and on Twitter at FatBoySlim_21. Because y'all know I'm always over there blowing that thing up, man. I'm on TikTok, Facebook, and all of that, but rarely over there. But those are the places you can catch me the most, in Twitter right here. And look, for my boy Ryan, like I said, go catch him out Thursday night, 8 o'clock, because he's doing this thing with the boys. And catch Chris on Hawks Digest, because like he said, he's going to give you an update on Jonathan Kuminga and his immediate future with the Hawks. And again, man, y'all can catch my latest videos right now that I just dropped yesterday and earlier today. But until then, y'all can catch us later, man, because we're going to holler, because we got to go eat our chicken wings. But I got them right there in the oven. But we're going to holler at y'all later, man. Peace.
Peace.